How you doing, Alex?
How you doing, guys? Very good. Good to be here. Thanks for
Good, good.
inviting me. Well, great to see you.
Absolutely. Always good to see you, Alex. It's we've been hanging out and chatting with each other. I don't know, about 10 years, I think, at different conferences. We bump into each other. I'm really excited about your presentation that's coming up over here, talking about the rise of human AI hybrids and how you can empower subject matter experts in the age of automation. Um, since that's got AI in it, I am just all over that. And I also let everybody know that Alex actually has a product out there called Zap Test, and I just want to give a shout out for that. It is pretty cool. We've done the Candy Mapper challenge with that. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look if I publish that video. If not, I will do it this afternoon. My apologies. A lot of things have been. I got a brand new job, Alex, and um, all sorts of crazy stuff going on. And you and I have to talk a little bit after this meeting.
For sure.
Let's see if there's anything else. I'm going to give a shout out again to Testomat for doing these sessions. We do them every 2 months. Me and my co-author, Larry Goddard, do these things. We host them all the time. So we get two of the biggest and brightest speakers in the industry. Alex is definitely one of those, and he is fantastic. And I love your little avatar, your little AI avatar. I was showing that to somebody just this week, chit-chatting with it. So I'm going to say, with that said, I'm going to turn it over to you, Alex, and take it away.
Thank you, Paul. Guys, thanks for having me. Great pleasure. Paul, a big fan of your talent. You being an automation and test evangelist. So we're like pack of full professionals that's driving the same, tuning the same message, right?
Yes,
Very cool.
absolutely. Thank you.
Yep. All right, guys. So I'm gonna be having the presentation deck. It's half animated, and my part will be between presentation deck, my narration. I'm gonna narrate more. I'm gonna be speaking more, and a few video coverages. Not to annoy you with the videography, but it's done by my digital avatar, the one that Paul had mentioned, Asa, Alex Zapp avatar. And my digital avatar gonna do better job than me. It doesn't have a thick accent, and it's much smoother and professionally done. So you'll have a better idea of what I'm trying to convey today. But I believe that will be interesting. We're going to talk about the previous stuff. We're going to talk about future. And I want to encourage you to take questions while you're listening to the presentation. And I would love to answer all your questions. Just don't hesitate, grill me with the questions. Let's really get it to the need and grit. All right. So let me share my screen. Okay, it's asking me to allow this system. All right. Give me just a second. Allow. I use in Chrome. Oh, that's for me. I'm very sorry, Paul. Apple.
Yeah. So basically, Alex is going to jump off real quick and then come back. And yeah, the share screen. It's been an interesting day. Everybody's getting affected by this. One of the cool things I've been doing recently is working in AI driven automation, basically using Copilot inside of VS Code in agentic mode. It's not just suggesting things that I could do. It is actually going through and making modifications to tests and even looking at it from a complete view where I can say, hey, I have this function called click link. Is it copied anywhere inside of any of my other page object models? And it will, but it does really cool stuff. So Alex is back here, and I
All
think
right.
you did you get your share screen taken care of?
I believe so. I'm using a Mac here, and the Mac has extra security that made me to quit my Chrome browser, and I apologize for that.
Not a problem.
Right. So let me know if you can see my tab with Canva.
Yes, you're good.
All right.
Ah.
Very good. So this is my deck. We talked today about the AI and human hybrid modeling, right? So just wanted to start with a few quick facts about myself. As Paul introduced me, I'm a CEO and founder of ZapTest. We started as a SWAT team 20 years ago of Mercury Interactive, delivering latest and greatest, working with R&D and being involved in some of the project developments that Mercury had. I have a talk show, Zap Talk, that me and Joe Calantonio, we talking to the thought leaders. Paul was one of our guests as well. Um, I'm a creator of 6 months live proof of concept model. So with Zap Test, everybody has half a year ability to make a weighted decision without paying us and quit if they don't like it. And I'm a visionary pretty much about us collaborating with machines to be more productive. They called me American Siberian Tiger. I grew up in Siberia in Russia, and I started in the U.S. That was my childhood dream. I was, in fact, American kid that left behind to grow up in Russia, and I made it back home when I was in my 20s. So, ZapTest AI. I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna play for you a real quick video that's gonna illustrate who we are. I believe AIs are gonna do a better job than me, and after that, I'm gonna take over and we'll talk about uh, the rest. So let me share my screen again, and I'm gonna share my AI presentation. I believe you can see my browser, right? Cannot hear confirmation, but I assume yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alex Zapp, founder and CEO of ZapTest. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to our artificial intelligence-powered enterprise automation solution. For over 20 years, ZapTest has been at the forefront of software automation. We began with software testing, but have evolved into a full-stack, cross-platform automation solution, unifying DevOps and BizOps processes for enterprises worldwide, and merging test automation and RPA into one integrated automation process. Today, I'll show you how our ZapTest AI capabilities are transforming automation to a whole new level. Let's start with Plan Studio, our flagship AI-driven technology. Plan Studio leverages advanced AI models to evaluate, optimize, and automate test cases and use cases with unparalleled efficiency as seamless automation scenario modules. The process begins by analyzing your existing test cases. AI evaluates each case for automation worthiness, compliance with supported technologies, and reusability of steps. It identifies functional areas, test parameters, and reusable modules, giving you a clear roadmap for automation. Users can generate detailed Excel reports with automation insights, reusable modules, and proposed parameters, making it easy to align with project goals. One of the most powerful features of Plan Studio is its ability to automatically transform test cases into ready-to-execute scripts. With a single click, ZapTest compiles steps, UI scans, and reusable parameters into scripts that adhere to best practices like modular design, parameterization, and event-driven validation. These ZapTest scripts are ready for further enhancements in our OneScript Studio, where users can easily add UI objects and parameterize data to make them execution ready. Our AI Copilot is a game changer. Powered by generative AI, it helps users develop scripts and resolve automation challenges using simple natural language prompts. Whether you're a seasoned developer or new to automation, Copilot makes the process effortless. ZapTest is built for versatility. Using advanced visual object recognition, our platform supports cross-platform automation across operating systems, devices, and browsers. Automate once and execute anywhere with minimal maintenance. This means faster deployment, reduced maintenance, and unmatched efficiency, key factors for enterprise automation success. One of our unique advantages is shift-left automation. ZapTest allows you to start automating from mock-ups or even hand-drawn designs, long before the application is live. This accelerates your development process, ensuring 100% automation readiness throughout the software development lifecycle. ZapTest doesn't just stop at testing. Our enterprise-grade robotic process automation repurposes testing scripts for business operations. From login workflows to back-office tasks, ZapTest automation works seamlessly across departments. ZapTest is more than just a tool, it's a complete ecosystem. One of the standout technologies in the ZapTest ecosystem is RecStudio. This feature bridges the gap between manual testers and automation engineers by allowing users to record application interactions, complete with audio narration. This creates a video scenario that not only documents the workflow, but also generates automation objects for scripting, eliminating the need for a live application during initial automation phases. With RecStudio, knowledge transfer becomes seamless, and teams can collaborate more effectively, even across geographies. mRun Studio is all about speed and efficiency. With mRun, a single script can be executed across all test environments simultaneously. Whether you're testing on web, mobile, or desktop platforms, mRun ensures fast parallel execution. This feature drastically reduces execution time, enabling teams to meet even the tightest deadlines with confidence. Load Studio adds performance testing capabilities to ZapTest using standard API scripts. Load Studio enables you to simulate real-world user activity on your application under test, generating load across multiple environments using remote generators. Once the load test is complete, Load Studio provides comprehensive root cause analysis to pinpoint bottlenecks and ensure optimal application performance under stress. Farm is ZapTest's private cloud technology designed for enterprise-grade scalability and security. With Farm, you can create a remote-controlled test environment using your organization's hardware, supporting both mobile and conventional workstations. Farm empowers enterprises to centralize their automation infrastructure, ensuring secure, high-performance automation across teams and locations. ZapTest support for modularity lets you include calls to existing scripts as reusable modules, share object repositories between scripts, and combine UI, WebDriver, and API steps into a single script. This flexibility means you can automate any task, regardless of complexity or environment, desktop, web, or mobile. ZapTest isn't just a testing solution, it's an enterprise automation solution. From DevOps to BizOps, our automation capabilities streamline operations, save time, and reduce costs. And with our unlimited license model, you gain unlimited access to our tools across your entire organization. Our complimentary Zap experts work alongside your team, ensuring smooth implementation and maximum value from day one. These benefits, plus 6 months of proof of concept, make automation fast, scalable, and risk-free for enterprises. As enterprise teams evolve, so must their automation strategy. That's where the Software Automation Hub comes in. At ZapTest AI, an automation hub isn't just a team. It's a smart center of excellence where experts gather insights, build reusable scripts, and connect teams that once worked in silos. As teams perform tasks like QA, they develop reusable scripts, libraries, AI agents, and best practices, assets that can be shared across departments to boost efficiency. This is where most ROI is realized, through reusability and cross-functional knowledge sharing. The Automation Hub becomes a collaborative platform where experts share insights, build reusable assets, and bridge the gap between DevOps and BizOps. Through coordinated efforts and ongoing knowledge exchange, teams align under a unified automation strategy, driving faster innovation, better communication, and stronger outcomes. With ZapTest AI, your team saves time, becomes solution architects, and turns automation into a business accelerator, building a smart, future-ready enterprise. Visit ZapTest AI to start your automation journey today. Be happy, and let's zap.
Thank you guys for watching this. I think it's better illustrated better than I would have done. Let me switch the sharing to my deck again. Here we go. So let's talk about the history of testing in general, right? So I started my career in the mid 90s as a test engineer in the rise of bug 2000 threat, right? So and that's basically gave me opportunity to live through the evolution of testing and test automation. I've been lucky enough to be in the frontier of the industry from the day one, pretty much, for various reasons. But this way or another, I've been involved in evolving the automation from manual testing, basically, into the ZEP test AI where we're at right now. So the history goes that at the beginning, when we started in the industry, we assumed that tester can do it all. But then when the web started to rise and different flavors of webs and browsers and the ActiveX controls, we understood that the manual testing is not efficient. It needs to be automated. So the tools like XRunner and WinRunner were one of the popular, if you remember, a rational robot and what's not, right? So as those tools started to rise up, we understood that testers, manual testers, don't have skills to execute it all. So we need to have for testers to be coders. So we try to educate testers on testing on all the scripting languages that were available back then in the tools, but it wasn't efficient enough because it was a very long learning curve for people to learn the tool, right? And not of that, all of them had a computer science kind of scripting programming background. So around 2005, luckily I was a co-designer of one of the last tool before Mercury exited to HP. We used to call it business process testing tool. The concept of business process testing tool was to introduce differentiation of the roles in the QA process for firm subject matter expertise and the automation specialist expertise, right? So we started to call it SME and automators later on. So unfortunately, so this tool was based on the two main celebrity tools at that time, Quality Center or Test Director, which was improved, and the Quick Test Professional, which was renamed to the UFT later on. So that tool, between all other aspects, has some architectural gaps. And the fact that object engine recognition back then and it still was a DOM-based one, scalable enough, and the collaboration between the engine and the SMEs that were supposed to build the architecture with the automation set of mind was too complex. So unfortunately, that tool didn't pick up as wide as we intend for it to be. So with that all commotion, of the evolution of the automation, we have reality that the bar raised and the non-technical teams have to contribute as much as they can, right, to be in automation. And all the shift later on started to load on the automator. So if leadership has a budget, how to spend it, they will consider the automators to be funded more than the manual testers or SME that actually know the knowledge, they possess the knowledge of what needs to be tested. So, reality today, generative AI writes code faster than humans. Test automation is now driven by natural language, as we can automate without technical skill. AI is replacing traditional coding testers. So, what we see on the market, exactly what you see here on the slide. ChatGPT, any generative AI, produces information with the lightning speed. It can write the code of different intentions, and if it can do on the standalone basis for development and other tasks, it has to do it for testing as well. And this is basically leads to the other challenges, right? So QA team must deliver more with fewer engineers. We'll see the a reduction of workforce for sake of process optimization. All the boards, all the leaders being forced to deliver more with less personnel. challenge that come with that, old schools that we traditionally use, that use a DOM-based object engine recognition, and what comes between that and the web drivers, not scalable enough because it still requires human interaction. There are some vendors that say trying to automate it through AI, but if it does not recognize objects, it requires high maintenance of the object recognition level. It's going to be always bottleneck, and this is what we see in the industry. And productivity challenges, the teams being frustrated. If you, as a leader, has to deliver the 50% workforce that you used to have and deliver more in a higher speed because they starting to compare you to generative AI responses, and then you being frustrated, right? So to consider all the factors, we came up with Zeptest AI one-click process. We call it record and playback reinvent. Just a history about the record and playback sentiment. Being the SWAT team leader in the Mercury days, we used to walk into the customer side in the post-sale commotion. And if the old schooler like Paul and other guys have been in the industry for quite a while, you probably remember that tools, not matter Mercury, Rational, any other vendors on the market, they've been sold on the commotion of it's very easy. All you have to just record, and it's going to play back like a dream, right? In fact, it's never worked out. It was choking of different factors, and we as the implementers, like a post-sales team, we're supposed to juggle between the emotion of the customer that already committed and the actual results, what we can do in the process. So when we started to develop Zeptest as a standalone tool, I was against the record playback functionality, period. Uh, Being a rebel, I mean, a lot of people in the industry sort of me as very unorthodox in the soft way to explain it. But I was firm with that because I said, well, you have to be honest with the process. Don't confuse people. So we're going to have people that know what needs to be automated, and they're going to explain it in the perfect language in English, outline all the processes, and we're going to have automators that are going to be the automation ninjas that are going to come in and take all the textual explanation and build the perfect code to them. So with the generative AI, we able to deliver it now because we have a multiple factors that's no longer constrained. At Zaptest, we have a computer vision object recognition. We used to have it from the day one, but only now, in the crisis of agility of automation, it's starting to get better recognition than it used to be. And another factor, we don't need to deal with the human error as far as the automators go. So machine writes code much faster, precise, and you don't need to wait for anyone, right? And we able to automate it. So what you see here on the screen, it's a very high level diagram of one-click process, all driven by AI. So what we do here, we got two entry points. One entry point, very quick. We connect through to your ALM from Zaptec, and we take all the documentation that you have stored, like Jira's, Azure's of the world, and so forth, right? So but in reality, it's a perfect case scenario. In reality, we all know as a QA professionals, there's never case where you have all documentation for all processes outlined perfectly for anyone to understand, including me, right? So there's a lot of gaps. So in order to fulfill those gaps in the process description, we offer Recorder, Rec Studio, that allows you to record desktop action as a human. And you can also leave narration. That's going to be also uh, uh, put to the Plan Studio, which is going to outline all the processes. And with a single click, that's why we call it click by click process, it's going to analyze it in the automation friendly architecture. So then once you review the architecture and agree with that, you're going to send it to automation. Again, one click to analyze architecture, second click to convert all this textual architecture into the source code, executable source code ready to do regression testing. Now, once you agree with the outline of the source code, that also includes object recognition, object calibration. It's all done with AI automatic. So you can send it to the mass execution through AMRA. The reason why I wanted you to watch a 7-minute video, and you know, this day 7 minutes seems to be very long video. Attention span much shorter. so you to understand what other components are there in the Zaptest as a whole one-stop automation solution. But with all that said, I want to play another video that I prepared for you that's going to talk about one-click process. And in that shorter video, it's only 2 minutes. And it's going to illustrate how it's all done. All right, please allow me to share it with you right here. All right, I believe you can see my browser. And let's go.
Zaptest AI continues to evolve, putting powerful, intelligent automation in the hands of every team. Introducing the latest enhancement to Zaptest, the AI-infused recorder. This smart feature captures user interactions with any application and instantly converts them into structured test documentation within Plan Studio, followed by ready-to-execute automated scripts. Creating or updating test cases has never been faster. There's no need for technical skills or programming. Anyone familiar with the business process can now contribute. Manual testers, SMEs, and business analysts can simply show the tool what needs to be automated. In Plan Studio, test data can be collected in 2 ways, either by syncing with an existing ALM or test management platform, or by using the enhanced recorder to capture live user interactions. Plan Studio takes it from there with AI-powered analysis. It reviews all test cases using multiple criteria and identifies those best suited for automation, recognizes common steps to build reusable modules, defines inputs and outputs to create data-driven automation. Once analyzed, Plan Studio launches the final phase, AI-assisted script generation. In one step, your test cases or reusable modules are converted into full automation scripts. Next, automation specialists, assisted by Zaptest experts, review and organize the scripts into robust testing frameworks ready for execution. This ensures quality, consistency, and enterprise-grade readiness. Need instant help? Zaptest AI Copilot is always there, ready to generate scripts on demand, debug code, or answer questions in real time. Zaptest AI empowers teams to automate faster, smarter, and without barriers. Turning knowledge into power every minute, every hour. In a high-pressure world, this is your superpower. Let's zap.
All right, let's zap. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go back to my deck. And this is where we're at. So as you've seen how it's all done in the closer range, again, we have documentation that's been analyzed by the through the harness that it takes it to the Plan Studio. We have a recorder that allows human to record processes that's missing in the whole structure of documentation. All that can be analyzed by Plan Studio, and we're talking in a matter of seconds, even minutes, right? So it's done so fast, so it's reduced so much man hours. So any team with the lesser personnel that's being understaffed can deliver even more than they used to deliver in the full scale. Then once it's all, the most important part here is architecture, and I'll talk about it later. So the next step again is to auto-generate scripts with single click. You click one button, it creates all the script in JavaScript. And again, at this point, scripting language is not that important. You won't even know what is under the hood. And you're gonna be scheduling for mass execution. We're showing you in the demo 4 different platforms. In fact, you can do it on 10, 100, as many as your environment allows you, because you're gonna need stronger servers to run it all, right? But it's give you, I mean, very strong execution capabilities, not even for regression testing, but also for RPA for folks that automate in the business operation process. And that's a different conversation about unified automation hub, but it's possible there. Now, no coding automation. So ZepTest AI removes all technical barriers. So now you can focus on your SMEs. You can focus on people that been with you the longest, that know the process the deepest, and they're gonna be the automation drivers, if you will, right? AI-powered screen recording captures screen activity, turns into the executable test cases, allows you to edit it if you made a mistake, if there is some kind of a rich logic flow on the way. It's all possible, right? And this is a diagram of the roles in the process that I wanted to kind of ask you to pay attention to it, because it sounds too good to be true, right? On the other hand, you kind of may wonder who else will be involved. So in the green here, those are the phases that covered by the SME, manual testers, literally speaking, right? Someone that can only do manual testing, don't need to know the coding, don't understand the subject of automation, architecture, nothing to do with the computer science or programming to that extent. It's maybe business analyst, anyone that possesses the knowledge of application, right? Then in the blue, it's a automation leader. I mean, not automation, and I'll take it back. SME leader, someone senior subject matter or business analyst that can review everything that the team of the SMEs committed to the plan studio, because it's not going to be just one person, right? You may have a mass implementation, you may have 3, 5, 10 people recording scenarios and adding it to the projects that the ALM couldn't deliver because that's probably not enough documentation there. Reviews the reusable and procedural automation modules, reviews the test parameters, all the architectural aspects. It's very important part of the phase, because this is the finale and the most strategic aspect of the whole process. We need to be absolutely sure that we got all the processes analyzed, linked on the natural language level, right? All the parameters will be accurate, adhere to all the input and output data flow, right? And once that's done and certified, then all SMEs or one SME, whoever have time, just simply click button, and all the scripts converts by agents into the source code automatically. You don't even see it. Well, you probably saw in the demo, there's a blue notification tab appears once the script created. So it tells you the script been already by agent, right? So at that phase, you have a orange or brownish quadrant. This is where the automation specialists, we still need the automators on the staff. We're not getting rid of guys completely, right? But we need a fewer of them. And their mission will be, instead of the heavy writing code like we used to do that, they're just gonna review and analyze what AI converted. And it's gonna take, with the worst case scenario, it's gonna take significantly less time for them, even if they have to tweak certain things, than to write any architecture from scratch. You probably agree with me on that, right? And this is what we call one-click process. So with that said, this is basically what I wanted to show you today, between the general overview of ZepTest and, most importantly, what ZepTest AI in the click-by-click process in the modern teams, in the modern testing can do. So I'm done with my part. Paul, I'm not sure how much time we have for questions, if we do have time.
Not sure. Can you hear me? Yes, I'm back over here. We got a lot of time. We got about 40 minutes.
Perfect. Let's do
Yeah.
it, guys. Just grill me. Let's have a heated discussion. I like it. Be my sparring partner.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me go back a little bit and take a look at a couple of questions. Let's see. Oh, so Luisa was asking, does this tool work for native mobile applications?
For anything, and I'll explain you why. It's not because I want to amuse you here. I do, but I will explain you how. Uh, we have a computer vision object recognition engine. So 95% of the tools on the market either run on the DOM base, which is a custom made native by that company, or the web drivers, right, which also DOM based at the end. So it just has a different structure. So what it does, it relies on the object classes in some cases, and the most importantly, properties of this object class to match during the playback. Make sense? In our case, we changed the paradigm in the 2000s. We came as a tool. That was a core decision why we became as a standalone tool, because at the early days, we had an add-on that we used to give for free when we used to sell Quick Test Pro, because we were resellers of Mercury and HP products. And I came up with the new idea, sort of Spider-Man. I said, we cannot walk stairs anymore. We even have a video about Zep Hero. You might watch it on YouTube, which kind of put the plot on the story, right? And the sci-fi mode. So we created a computer vision object recognition, which wasn't based on the object properties, but was based on the four main fundamentals. It was based on the OCR, so it's read the text. It was based on the edge detection, was detecting the edges of non-textual objects. It was based on the relationship anchoring between the textual and non-textual objects. So when you have a text field and you have a one label, you can anchor it and they calibrate it mathematically during the playback of the resolution change, right? And of course, coordinate if you need it as a last resort. So all these aspects allow us to seamlessly, please pay attention, seamlessly automate any user interface without negotiation what it is. So whatever you created for the mainframe application, if the business logic remains the same of the test process, you can apply it to the web application. Because for Zap test, unless you tell them to, it doesn't matter its login was developed on the one technology or the other technology. You just see what the humans see. Exactly the same sentence. Hope I explained it correctly. We have 40 minutes, so I can go deep.
Yeah. We got plenty of time. It does make interesting that you bring up mainframe. There's a couple of tools out there that it's a little. I find it rare, but I like it when I hear that like a mainframe terminal emulator, it can be automated with a tool. So
Right.
that is really cool. Um, I think one of the other things I wanted to ask you about is so your test cases can run in parallel, um, uh, and I think you said it was like infinite amounts of parallel. Maybe that's what I heard.
Right.
Um,
Well, theoretically, it's infinite,
Theoretically
but
infinite.
right. Well, engineers, well, practitioners, we understand it's gonna overload somewhere. But technically, you can break it by virtual machines and load the virtual machines from the farm with whatever you need. You want to do the physical, you can do emulators on the mobile and even the barcode scanner. So we connect to the operating system. As long as we can, and we recognize major operating system like Windows, Mac OS, iOS, Android, Linux, right? And
Awesome.
of course, everything that runs on it.
Cool. Vaso just asked a question. Are design patterns such as the page object model supported on the generated code of Zaptest?
We don't care about page model, because we have visual object recognition. So our object classification absolutely different than it's common in the world. And again, I've always been an orthodox. That was my motto. My mentors taught me to create my own category, right? So and that I was been doing all my career. And in my category, we're saying we're not gonna have object classes like the world perceives them. We're gonna do only what needed, because keep in mind, I have a SWAT team leader kind of in mind. So my proof of worth always was to be sent to the hardest and most difficult situation and make it work, like a special ops force, right? So I always say, I don't care what people think, how the market perceive, how they sell it. I'm gonna do what is right. This is why I'm giving you 6 months proof of concept, because I'm so confident in what I'm doing that I'm risking not to get paid for 6 months, right? At all.
That's pretty cool. Actually, nobody that I know of, I do talk to a lot of the people in the industry. I don't know of anyone who's doing 6 months, and some of them are like, "I'm going to give you like 5 days." I'm like, I'm in the middle of a release. What am I supposed to do in 5 days?
Right. And
I
again,
love that. I love what you're
please
doing.
keep in mind, I'm unorthodox in this way.
Yeah.
And that's conversation for all of us as a community, right? We have a bunch of people, a bunch of professionals online. You cannot
Yep.
make it automation. It's a career choice. It's a strategic choice.
Yep.
Makes sense. A lot of great leaders been burned by automation. It's like a snow avalanche, right? So you can either ride it or being killed by that. So if you miscalculate parameters as far as the tools that you use, most importantly, personnel that's going to be using this tool, the process that's going to be designed around personnel skill set, budget that you've been given to support this personnel, and the tool set that can scale to what you have to deliver for your mission, right? You're going to be stank by the maintenance. You're going to trap yourself in the maintenance. You're going to fall behind. You're going to get fired. Your opinion about automation going to be ruined. Make sense? This is why before you commit your budget, I'm going to give you 6 months because I'm building the lifetime partnership. I've been running it for 25 years. I have customers that we grow from the automation leaders to the VP of technologies because we always used to deliver under their name. So they used to have a confidence to take any obnoxious automation task and bring Zap into it with Zap test and our expertise, and we used to deliver. Make sense?
Yep.
So this is why I'm giving you 6 months POC because I'm building the partnership with you. I'm gonna be running Zap for another 20 years. As long as the computer science is gonna be paid, I will be there. I'll figure it a way, right?
I'm the same way. My wife asked me, when am I going to retire? I'm like, when I
Never.
die, when I'm, when I
Exactly.
got one foot in the grave, that's when it's, because
Well,
I have
longevity.
loved everything what I do.
Exactly. Longevity, it's a new normal. So we're all going to have a chance to live till 150 to 100 years old, right?
Well, I saw my grandfather at 101. I'm not sure if I want to go that far, but
Why not? We're going to have fun.
he was still driving at 100. That was the problem. But
You
anyway,
see, you have a good example.
getting back to, and by the way, Vaso, yeah, I totally agree with Alex on the page object model. I actually kind of abandoned it many years ago, and probably when I was working with the Mercury tools, basically what I did is I put in what I call clever coding. That said, if you can't find this object, go and try and build it a different way. The best example I had was our developers had a whole bunch of links, and then at the end of the sprint, they had a whole bunch of buttons, and I couldn't find the buttons. None of my scripts worked, and I basically put a couple lines of code in there. It says if you can't find the link, go and build it as a button, and we got like 80-90% of our stuff working. Alex also made a really good point, is that the more and bigger your framework gets, the bigger that page object model gets, and the more likely that you're going to spend a lot of time maintaining it, because things changes constant in our field. And by the way, Alex, I really like the fact that not only do you do in work in test automation, you work in robotic process automation, which is the
Oh,
RPA.
that's a warning for everyone. Guys, my mission on the market, maybe I'm too buzzy, maybe I'm too annoying, maybe I'm too loud,
Oh,
right? But I will not stop telling you that because everybody, we're one small community. Even though for every one of us from our cubicles, it thinks it's a huge world. No, it's not. Worldwide, test automation and testing, fairly small community. We might be one of the smallest in the other computer science industries, right? Like
yep.
the security guys and others developers, right? So, and I want to be absolutely bold and honest to you because I'm planning with each one of you that come across my name, across my technology. I want to build a partnership. I want to be honest to community. I'm not going anywhere. I'm standing behind my brand, and for that sake, I just want to tell you, you have to prove your worth.
Yep.
Keep in mind, you see layoffs. That's going to continue. It's going to. I don't want to sound too depressing, right? But I want to give you a clear warning. For what you do in your jobs, think how you can deliver more to stay in the game. Make sense? One of the ways to develop, you always have to develop, right? So leadership never gonna be tired of pushing you farther because they all get pushed by the board of directors, by the CIOs, by the directors in the leaders and yada yada, right? That goes to the chain. So, bottom line, every evaluation, every year, you have to prove why it's you gonna stay on the job and not the other guy. Because with the smart tool and your knowledge how to do things faster, you can deliver more. Once you prove the concept in the testing space, what I've given you with that test AI, it's a unified software automation tool. We do not differentiate the discipline because at the end of the day, it's the same process that you automate either for purpose of testing or for purpose of the execution on the daily basis, a business operation. Make sense? The same login, same search fly, same book hotel, book rent a car, and yada yada, right? The kind of. So, biggest problem of the industry, and because we were a rich industry, we're a rich country, I get it. It's a redundancy. If you look at any large corporation, I work predominantly because of the altitude of technology and the pricing points. We work predominantly from mid-sized to large enterprise, the largest in the world, because they get most out of our unlimited licensing model and our application of our tool in different groups. So even them, predominantly them, they have so much redundancy in the packets that don't talk to one another. If you consolidate it all, and you're gonna say, hey guys, we're gonna reapply the same skills that we have in one team instead of have 5 teams. Let's unite. Let's have a good leadership. Let's gonna break it per projects, what we're automating. Let's consolidate reusable components, test data, reusable functions that we spend a lot of time creating, and yada yada into the one automation hub. And we're gonna repurpose. We're gonna take we're gonna have build a center of service in the company, automation service, right? And you're gonna deliver automation for different groups. That's gonna give you a request for automation. So it's one of the optimized ways. So exact test you can do it. We don't differentiate testing from RPA. It's the same process pretty much.
Yeah, I brought it up because my son, you would think I spent years kind of grooming him to be a test automation engineer. He had no interest in computers, and then like 2 weeks before he moved out, he's like, "What's this Selenium thing?" And then he like, "Bye, I want to." We have something finally to bond on. But in his career in the last 6 months, since he's moved out on Halloween, he's actually become a very significant in robotic process automation. He's getting processes automated, and he's doing it by coding. But definitely, I think Zaptest would be something that he would definitely want to take a look at to see how can you do it faster and just get it done. Why sit there and struggle with I struggle with the AI, just trying to get it to write stuff that I wanted, but I'm just not writing the prompts correctly on my side. And I've seen Alex's tool over there. One of the things I really love about that is I see something that has been missing for a long time, and that's those data tables that you have inside that tool, where it's actually part of the IDE. Here's the data table. We're going to go run through it. Here's your test, and we'll run it through this data, this data, this data, this data. Rather than having let's go reference some external Excel file. I like the fact that you've got it actually embedded into the IDE. I wish we could just bring it up and show that it's neat. But I think you've got a great design behind that whole thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm looking for, if anyone else has other questions, remember we're on YouTube at the moment. We still got about 10 minutes left. If you have any questions, I'll be trying to come up with some other cool things. I did do a research. I mentioned at the beginning of our segment, I said I thought I did the Candy Mapper Challenge with you, Alex. I can't find the video on it. I do know that I did the video with showing how your avatar works. So I definitely want to follow up on that and get through that.
We can repeat the challenge. Top Alex that.
Absolutely.
Just throw me any environmental scenario. I'll explain you how we can deliver it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what else what else makes Zaptest stand out among the multiple products that are out there?
Well, again, one of the main, it all depends who you're talking to, right? So if you're talking to CIO, if you go top down, then it's definitely ability to apply seamless automation, reduce redundancy that improves ROI. So you reduce the man hours. You can repurpose your uh, permanent workers that you have without reaching out to consultant force with the budget that you're being given to drive entire automation and scale it because we're giving you unlimited license, right? So if you talk to the director of QA, it's give you ability to uh, deliver more for your company by stepping beyond testing. So beyond testing means that instead of reducing the budget and the workforce of your QA organization, you coming up to the CIO or CTO and saying, "Hey guys, let me do RPA automate." RPA being very under delivered. If the challenge in the enterprise world because the departments disisolated, they don't talk to one another. Everybody very silent in their boxes. One reason why that's kind of following the directives of their leadership makes sense. Just mind their own business, and the leadership doesn't have time and enough pressure and the challenge to consolidate it. So director can step out and say, "Hey guys, I can deliver beyond testing. Let's build the automation hub. Let me repurpose scripts that I already invested a year building into the RPA with that test because we can deliver it all without boundary, right? Any technology." If you talk to the automation leader the same way, I mean, if you do a manager that can take more work on the test automation side and take the workload of different groups, so do it because now you can deliver more script of the less time and the lesser personnel. Make sense? And yada yada. Automators going nowhere. I don't want to people think that's hate me for that. That's we're gonna get a low job. No, opposite. You need to think of yourself as a different. When AI came 3 years ago, and I put my old developers together, I said, guys, forget what you know for 20 years. Everything that we went to school to learn and experience, it's not going to be needed no more. We now in the era of riding dragons. Don't try to fight with dragons. You're not going to be smarter or faster than that. Learn
That's
how
true.
to live with that and ride it. So ride on the dragon.
Yep.
So automators, you have a Ztest AI. This is the perfect dragon that you may have. I've been building it with my 20 years advanced experience and head down 3, 4 years development in the AI only. Make sense? So uh, we just announcing right now the partnership with Microsoft. Microsoft picked us up in the upper tier partners to Azure and Microsoft AI for that reason that we can fly by and do cross automation instantly. So again, automators, you're not going to lose the job. Just make yourself useful as an architect. Say,
Yep.
okay, I don't mind to record the processes if I need to, right? I don't mind to review that's the most important thing. You have to use your knowledge of automation and architecture on the textual format. You don't need to write code. You don't need to go through the wires, right? Bots will do that. What do you have to do? You need to review what the, let's say, Plant Studio analyzed, outline reusable modules and procedural modules for automation. You need to review it, agree with that or disagree with that, edit it or tell people to edit it, right? Collect all the data, reusable components, and review after it's been converted. Review the same way on the automation side. So what you can do, you're going to produce more automation with your knowledge in the same time. So, and it's never enough to automate. Never enough to automate in any enterprise, either not on
Yep.
the testing, not on the RPA side. If you can deliver it faster, show your leadership that you can do it with the smart tools, you're always going to be in the game.
Yep. I can actually give a really good use case that I've got going on, and I've done this with previous clients I've worked for, which is not only do you automate your test cases, but um, you don't want to, as you were saying, the automation engineers aren't going to go away, and by the way, the manual testers aren't going to go away either. At the very least, you're going to get a little bit better and smarter at what you do using tools like this. But one of the things I found is I've got a manual tester, and she needs records generated for her manual testing. uh, she has to have it available, and for her to create it, it takes a bit of time. And of course, there's a human factor in there where the accuracy, does she get it right the first time? No, she has to go and recreate it. What I found was just data generation, just having something that runs every night, which I think this actually falls into the RPA position, where it's like, oh, you've already created this record, you burned it, it's not useful anymore. I'll go create another one for you. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Tomorrow might be a test day. I'll go create one or two for you, and always have that that there as a tool for data generation, so your manual testers don't have to spend that time doing the generation themselves. They already have everything ready for them to go when they start their testing on their release. And tools like this, absolutely, I think that's a good place where things balance out on two different ways. And I can definitely show an ROI, a speed increase, saying, hey, we didn't spend 20 minutes creating the data in order to run a 10-minute test. So we just did the 10-minute test and everything was done.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Cool. So I think we'll talk a little bit about where you can find more information about Alex and Zap. It's basically www.zaptest.com.
Oh, that's AI, and I added the
Not AI,
barcode.
sorry.
And no, I mean, it goes both ways. We're
It
switching
does.
completely to AI right now. So I also added the barcode. I want to encourage you all, just for kicks, right? Play the game. I have an Asa, my digital avatar, the guy that was talking into the videos, right? We train him on everything, anything Zaptest. So on the homepage, if you'll go, you can have a full conversation with Asa about anything comes to your mind automation related. And we do have guy, and you can book a demo with us. It's a 1 hour demo. I'm gonna be there myself with my leading engineers, and we're gonna discuss in personally your objectives, and we can show you how we can add it and deliver it. So there's a phases you can find out on the website how we onboard the technology, but you get 6 months without paying to evaluate it within the company.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you just want to have some fun, because there is a video that I posted up a couple of months ago with Zaptest where I was actually having some conversations with this. And it was just a kind of fun little thing. You can find it on the Zaptest AI. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, there is the image of the where you can talk to the avatar. You can see Alex, the Zap avatar there, and there's a big red button that says "Talk." Click on "Talk," and then it'll open up the microphone. You don't even have to type at your computer. You can just have a little conversation and ask it all sorts of interesting questions, all about Zaptest. I think that is one of
Also,
the coolest things. Yes.
yes, Paul. Also, we added new functionality that you didn't see it yet.
Oh,
Asa now provides you with the video demos. So if you're talking about, let's say, show me agile automation, so how we can automate on the mockup. So Asa gonna explain it to you and then present to you. There's a window present to you the video coverage of that to show you
all
the
right.
demo illustrate.
I will have to go back and revisit that. I'll post together a new video. Definitely need to do the Kidney Mapper Challenge with Zaptest. I thought we had done it. It's buried somewhere in my project, so I'm going to go and follow up on that. Alex, you and I will definitely be talking in a day or two because I've got some interesting things and questions for you.
Sure.
And I'm going to say thank you very much for joining us on the second hour here. It's really great information. I love this tool. It is really cool to play with. I'm going to be playing a little bit more around with it more. Just let everybody, the page object model, I think it's going away. I don't think it's a thing that's going to be around anymore, especially with the AI stuff being smart enough to figure out what you really meant when you said click that add to cart button, and it changed to add to my cart button. You don't have to update stuff. Alex, again, thank you very much. I wish you the very best. Any last parting words?
Well, Paul, I'm a big fan of your talent. They're great to keep in the community together. I will looking forward to support you guys. Please don't hesitate. Book a demos, ask me questions, send emails, and talk to Asa.
Yeah,
And
I
let's
will be
up.
doing that.
Be happy and let's up.
All right. Everybody take care. We will be with you again in a month or two, probably with Larry Goddard, with another, two more lead people in the test automation field. Until then, have yourself a great day. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.